Hello, YouTube fans. This is the CHUCKY. As you guys have heard, and me posting on my community page, what is it? The director, I believe, from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, probably one of my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movies of all time, right next to the first one, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and maybe Freddy vs. Jason and New Nightmare. But I'm not here to talk about that, obviously. But what I'm here to talk about is give my thoughts on Jim Carrey as Freddy Krueger. Now, hold on for a minute. Okay. We are here. Anyways, so what do I think? To me, it's a hard pass. I'm not saying Jim Carrey can't do um terrific acting or anything like that, or can't do comedy and also slash horror at the same time. I have seen the movie. I actually haven't seen it in a long time. Um, well, from what I can remember, it's probably been bits and pieces of it of me remembering the movie. 23. The trailer was good. The trailer to that movie is really good. I highly recommend you should watch it. But I haven't seen the movie at least for a long time. And if I did see it, it's probably was just me looking at the TV, then getting out, looking at it, then in and out. So I really never sat down and watched the movie in full, you know? Um, but a lot of people do praise him in that movie. And hey, without that movie, a lot of people wouldn't be like, oh, he'd be perfect as the Joker, you know? So there is that. But I always thought that William Dafoe would be awesome as a Joker, but it's either here or there. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I think it's a hard pass for me with Jim as Freddy Krueger. Now, if it happens, that's the thing. I would have to see how it is. And the thing is, I'm always gonna be like, look, just do an animation movie. Just get Robert Englund back to do an animated movie, an animated Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I'll watch it. I don't care, you know. And if you're gonna make, and if somehow you bring Robert Englund back to play as Freddy in live action, don't put him on the makeup. That's it. His face alone is just fine. Just give him the hat and gloves, and there, they're having a dream. There, that's it. You don't have to do it. Some people might say, "Oh, they could use CGI." Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Even if you bring Jim Carrey in, just don't use CGI. There's a reason why the makeup of Freddy and the makeup for the Grinch and all that still holds up to this day. You know, I'm not even a big fan of the Grinch live action movie, to be honest. I'm a hardcore fan of the animated original. But yeah, I think the Jim Carrey version is blasphemous. Sorry guys, sorry. That's just the way I feel. You know, I mean, I grew up with the original, and you think I would love the Jim Carrey Grinch movie because I like Jim Carrey, but I just never liked that movie. But the makeup on him is really good. I give props for that. You know, um, but I just don't think. I just well, I could say this. Even if he does play as Freddy, could it be as bad as what we got from the 2010 version? Probably not. Even though I didn't mind Jack Lee O'Haley as Freddy, it's just that the script wasn't given as much for him because he's that type of actor that's like, give me a fucking direction, give me something, because this script is not giving me anything. And to be quite honest, I feel like Jim Carrey's the same way. If the script is not gonna, that's the thing with Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. That was his character. That's what Jim did. Jim made that character to life. He thought of the style, the hair, the mannerisms, the ooh, somebody stop me. Oh wait, well that's from The Mask. Well, he thought about that too. He thought of even with The Mask and even um um Ace Ventura with already then and stuff like that. He improv with all of that shit basically. And the thing is too, he did do the Mask movie, but I don't know if this is true or not. But I heard he's not even a big fan of the comic book The Mask because it's very violent. But he's still playing a violent character, so it's kind of weird. I don't know. I mean, for crying out loud, he was in the movie Kick Ass 2, and he was amazing in that movie, guys. So good. But guess what? He hated it because he thought the movie was too violent. Yeah, remember that? You guys remember that? So yeah, apparently a lot of people forget about this stuff. I remember like it was yesterday. I love Kick Ass 2, by the way. If you haven't watched that movie, watch it. Just by Jim Carrey alone. You know, even though I don't want to spoil it if you haven't watched it, something happens and I'm just like, then what's the point? I still like the movie, but when it comes to a point, I mean, again, I don't hate the movie. I think the movie is pretty good, and I don't know why people hate it at all, in my opinion. But that's just me. I like Kick-Ass 1 and 2. But it's just that specific moment, what happened in that movie. I was just like, why? He was the biggest thing in this whole movie. What the hell's wrong with you? Maybe it was the pay. Yeah, that makes sense. And the thing is, too, I've seen a video saying that if Jim Carrey is going to do this, he has to commit. He has to commit. Because how many Freddy movies are they going to make? They want to make a franchise, obviously. You know, money's money. But I don't think Jim Carrey's going to do that. But by the time they're done with the series, he'd be like in his what, 80s or something like that. I don't think he would want to do that, especially with that heavy makeup and stuff like that, guys. If Robert Englund doesn't want to do it now, why would you think? Hey, Jim Carrey doesn't even want to do it if he did The Grinch too. So why would you? I can understand you guys picking Jim Carrey, even the director that made The Mask and Nightmare on Elm Street 3. There's something I did like to mention too. The Mask is actually kind of inspired by Joker. Um, let's see, what's his name? Oh, I forgot that other DC character name, and Green Goblin. But there's another DC character name. There's another DC character that was inspired by The Mask also. Not again, I forgot its name because I really don't care about that DC character at all. But when they were making the Mask movie, they thought of two things when they were making that movie: Freddy Krueger and the Joker, basically. So they just mixed that together, and what we got, the Mask. Um, so that kind of, when I heard that, I was like, you know what? That sounds pretty badass. As the concept for the Mask that you pick for the live action movie. I mean, but and mixed with Tex Avery cartoon humor and Looney Tune stuff. But overall, I thought that idea was not bad. But when it comes to Jim Carrey himself playing as Freddy Krueger, I'd rather him just do another Mask movie. I would love for him to do another Mask movie. A lot darker, a lot grittier. But again, like I said before, I don't think he doesn't want to do stuff like that. Even though he has done mature themes. And he's good at it. He is. He's good. Jim Carrey, when he could be a serious actor, he could be a serious actor. Because I know a lot of people look at him in the Sonic movies and people don't like him in there because he's just doing his Jim Carrey stuff. Well, what do you expect? What do you expect? Even though Dr. Robotnik could actually be a tragic character. It's just that no one didn't tell Jim Carrey that, hey, yeah, this character is actually pretty tragic, at some points. Um, if you look at Sonic Media sometimes with Dr. Robotnik, not to say he's not a goofy character or anything like that. I mean, he is, but he can still be serious at points. I mean, kind of loud. The guy is making freaking trying to kidnap animals to make them robots. I mean, come on, that's pretty dark in itself, isn't it? That's why Sonic is saving the animals in the games. So again, they could do so much with him in the movies. But what they're doing with him with the movies, apparently it's killing it. A lot of people like it. I haven't seen Sonic. I haven't seen the newest Sonic movies at all. I just saw Sonic 1, and I thought I was fine, and I just moved on with my life. I don't think I need to see the other Sonic movies. I mean, kids are loving it, so why should I even watch it? It's doing its job. Kids that grew up with it are gonna love that movie, and they're gonna love Jim Carrey. So kind of like what we grew up in the '90s. So which is funny too, because I've always thought that he'd be perfect as Dr. Robotnik, and we got that. So that's cool. But as Freddy Krueger, I don't know, man. He has to be very like dark at points, but he can still do comedy, obviously, because Freddy's all about that comedy stuff, kind of like Chucky and stuff, and Leprechaun. But I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think that Jim Carrey would be perfect as Freddy? I do not see it at all. Um, but a lot of people apparently on the internet are kind of for it. They're like, yeah, yeah. But I'm like, guys, let's calm down for a minute. Let's calm down. I get it. You guys want another Freddy Krueger movie. I get it. I do. I get it. I get it. I get it. But without Robert Englund, I don't care if he is going to be in the movie as a cameo. The closest thing we'll ever get to a Nightmare on Elm Street movie is that one season of Stranger Things. Seriously, if you saw that episode, and Robert Englund was in it, you know. So and that was cool. That was really really cool. At that point, get that actor to play as Freddy or something like that. Or better yet, get what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? That actor that plays Art the Clown. I thought about him. Because Jim Carrey, he's getting up there in age. We need someone a little younger to play as Freddy, guys. I'm sorry. Like, you might hate me for saying that, but it's true. And I think the guy that plays Art the Clown would be perfect. If not, then what? Kevin Bacon? Kevin Bacon's getting old too, but I don't mind Kevin Bacon. People might. It's funny too because I think people are mixed with the Kevin Bacon one, but when it comes to Jim Carrey, it's like, I try to tell my mom this. My mom's like, Jim Carrey, Kevin Bacon. Yeah, because you can't replace Robert Englund as Freddy, and that's why I mentioned just do an animated movie. That's it, guys. Seriously, seriously. That's just me. Is am I am I being exaggerated here? You know, because at least with an animated movie, you could do so much with it, and you could still have Robert Englund's voice in that, and all he has to do is be in a booth and talk. That's all he has to do. You know, seriously, he doesn't have to move around. He doesn't have to like push himself too much. You know, so I think a perfect animated Nightmare on Elm Street movie would be great. The question is, who's gonna make that animated movie if they want to do an animated movie? See, that's even harder too, you know, because there's a lot of studios out here that don't want to do animation. They would just be like, oh no, let's just make it live action, And then if they do it animation, is it going to be 3D animation or 2D animation? In my opinion, it should just be 2D animation. In my opinion, but knowing how Hollywood is now, they'll be like, who gives a fuck about 2D animation? Yeah, who gives a fuck, right? Reasons why Warner Brothers doesn't care about Looney Tunes anymore. Yeah, that's another story. There's a reason why Warner Brothers is being sold right now. Seriously, and I hope Paramount owns Warner Brothers. I don't want Disney to own Warner Brothers. By the way, fuck that shit. Disney's not even doing good either. What are they gonna do with it? What are they gonna do with it? At least Paramount knows what. At least Paramount is not doing that bad. Hell, I want to have Universal do it, even though I'm not a big fan of what Universal is doing with the Universal monsters. It's like, yeah, we're not gonna do it. We're just going to give it to Blumhouse. Fuck Blumhouse. Fuck Blumhouse, man. Blumhouse is trying to do anything possible to have their own freaking franchise of all the horror icons, you know. And I'm just sick of it. I am. I'm sick of it. I really am. I'm sick of it, and I don't want them to do that at all because I think Blumhouse is just they don't know how to make good. They don't know how to make good horror movies. Every time I try to watch a Blumhouse movie, it's never appealing to me at all. Even some of the A24 movies. Some of the A24 movies I do enjoy. Like one of the ones that what was it? Damn it, I keep forgetting these fucking movie titles. But some movies that are not horror that they make are good. But when they do make horror, A24, I just don't care for it. And apparently, the A24 is making a Friday the 13th movie. What? What? Hell no. I pass on that. I'm sorry. I pass on that. I'd rather watch some fan movies, to be quite honest, at that point. You know? And there's fan Freddy movies out there, too. So I'm just, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't feel like Jim is a good choice. Just because the director worked with them before, especially on different projects, doesn't mean he's the right fit. I mean, how does Jim Carrey feel about this? You know? Like, imagine a director just comes out of nowhere, calls your name, and be like, "Oh yeah, I want you," and you only hear like, "Bro, I have a contract with Paramount to do the Sonic movies." I think it's from Paramount, right? But yeah, he's doing the Sonic movies, and Jim said that he does want to retire, so I won't be surprised if Sonic is the last movie that he does. You know? So not if they make him do The Mask or another Grinch movie, which I doubt. I doubt. I don't want him to do another Grinch movie. I want him to do another Mask movie. But if he's not going to do a Mask movie, I have pitched the idea. How about the people that created The Boys, that TV show The Boys, to make a Mask movie? That would be fucking dope. That would be cool. You know, because they already know what they're doing with the Boys series. So I think that team right there is perfect to make a Mask movie. The way the comic book is, that would be fucking badass. But here, um, I know there's videos online showing how Jim would look like all burnt up and all that stuff. It does look fine, But again, it's all about execution. Just because it looks good doesn't mean it is good. You know, it's all about execution. It's all about how much Jim Carrey actually gives a fuck playing this character. Because if he doesn't give a fuck, then the whole movie is just pointless. It's pointless. You know, especially if people behind this movie are just thinking about money and not thinking about, oh, we need to bring Freddy back and make it good. You know, that's just me, man. That's just me. Because if that's not your first priority to make something good, then you failed already. You failed already. You failed already. And not a lot of people are like this. It's just Hollywood studios. I'm not saying writers and directors are like this. It's just the Hollywood studios would be like, would get their grubby hands on shit, and sometimes the project that you want is not what it is anymore. So it's like now everyone's just pissed off and miserable, you know. And I don't want to think too negative about it. It's just that when you think about it, it happens. It happens a lot in Hollywood today, you know. And plus, Hollywood is not doing too good right now, guys. There's a lot of things abandoned from Hollywood. Have you seen that clip online when there's a video showing how Hollywood is and mostly of the studios are empty? I'm surprised no one hasn't made a. I'm surprised no one that wants to do fan movies hasn't got in there and used a couple of actors that they like. They might not have much money, but it's a growing director and use it. You know, I think it's a great opportunity if these Hollywood executives are not doing movies and Hollywood's getting fucked over because of the whole stuff that's happening to Hollywood. They can take advantage of stuff like that. They'll be like, "Hey, Hollywood's fucked up. It's dying, but we can grab this and make a movie out of it, and we can get out of Hollywood, and we can always be like we can be like New Hollywood, but it'd be like so much better than what Hollywood used to be. It won't even be called Hollywood, you know. People will call it New Hollywood, but it won't be New Hollywood if that's it. If you get my drift, you know. But overall, um, again, I'm trying to think of all because there's a lot of people out here on the internet that are not telling you this stuff. That are not telling you that Hollywood. There's a lot of Hollywood studios that are not open, guys. Some of them are literally abandoned wasteland because not just because of the shutdown that happened. It's just that Hollywood is too corrupt now, and not just that, the plan is changing also. But I'm not getting into that. So everything is a reflection of what's happening to the planet right now. So that's a different conversation for another day. But you guys have to know that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and sugarcoat shit. That's not me. That's not me. And if you don't want to hear it, well, that's not my fucking problem. Um, sorry that I want to acknowledge something that you want to ignore. You know. But moving on. Oh yeah. By the way, have you seen what The Rock looks like? Yeah, he looks like he's about to die. Yeah, the great one looks like he's dying and straight off our feet. Look it up. Seriously, he looks like he has cancer. It's actually shocking. But moving on. Jim Carrey as Freddy Krueger could be could be good. It could be good. Look, I'm willing to give it a chance if they do it right. If they don't do it right away, then I already know it's going to be a fumble, and I don't want that. You know. And the thing is, again, going back, would Jim Carrey even do it? He has to look at his age. He has to look at his health, and he has to look at his mindset. Like, is he willing to do this as a franchise until he's 80 or dead? I'm dead serious. You have to think about that. Do you want to enjoy the rest of your life? Or do you want to spend the time that you have with your life making all these movies and then retire in your 80s and probably not even enjoy your retirement because you're dead? You know? It's and Jim Carrey has so much money and he doesn't really need it. I don't think he needs to be part of this franchise. So I think someone else new will be great. That's why I mentioned the guy that played Art the Clown. I think he's really good. Let's see here. Let me press this. Yes, this guy. This guy. This guy right here. Dave Howard. Yeah, Dave Howard. Thorne. I hope I'm saying his name right. But I think that guy would be good. I think that guy would be really good. That's just me, guys. He has the look. You know. I don't know how he would talk because really, Arthur Clown doesn't really speak. But I mean, he can stretch those vocals. You know, he can stretch that creativity and that talent. You know, show a little bit more of his talent. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind if Howard did that. David Howard. I would not mind. So tell me you guys think down below. You think David Howard will be great as Freddy, or do you want someone else to be Freddy? Someone younger, someone fresh, someone right out of movie acting or something like that. You know, when they just got out of school acting and stuff, and they're ready to, you know, be start to make movies and shit. You know, but that's just me. Again, that's just me. Uh, again, yeah. Sorry, I'm stuttering and shit like that. I'm just thinking, really, really thinking because if let's just say this right now, if they are gonna remake, redo Freddy, are they even gonna try to do Freddy versus Jason again with all that legal shit that's happening with Jason, which is another bullshit crap? Seriously, because the ones that really had to suffer the most was the fans. To be quite honest with you, no one didn't suffer but the fans when it comes to Friday the 13th. I am dead serious. So what's going to happen with the Friday 13 collection? We're just going to get two, three, four, five, and stuff like that, and not one. You know that kind of sucks when you really think about it. You know, but again, that's another story for another day. And the thing is too, at that point, if they do want to do Freddy versus Jason with Jim Carrey, how old would he be at that point? You know, not automatically if you think that we're just going to do three movies or three sagas or some shit like that. You know, I don't know. I don't know. And I strongly hope you do not do the route of the Blumhouse Halloween movies. Oh God, no! Please don't. Please don't. The new Leatherface movie that came out on Netflix did that. And look, I have a soft spot with that movie. It's a guilty pleasure to me. That's just me. I know a lot of people hate that movie. But to me, that's the best Chainsaw Massacre we're ever going to get. I'm sorry, guys. Seriously, that's all we're going to get. Seriously, I'm sorry, guys. You guys want Texas Chainsaw Massacre to be what it used to be, but hey, even the sequel is not what the first one used to be. You know, so if we can get a Chainsaw movie like Chainsaw 2, I wouldn't mind it because I know we will never get something from Chainsaw 1. Are you kidding me? Look at the cameras that they use nowadays, guys. They would never do that. It'd be all freaking too polished and too clean, and I hate that. I hate that in when they remaster these games too. Square Enix. Yeah, I'm looking at you, idiot. Um, seriously. And look at the first Nightmare on Elm Street. That shit was grainy as hell. All raw and footage and all that shit. Even when you put it on HD quality or 4K quality, it still had that graininess, that rawness. You know, it was rough around the edges, and it made it unique and cool. You know, that's what people want. You know, people want to fucking care about this shit. But when you make it into a quality that looks too polished, too clean, no one doesn't care for it. I don't care for it. I don't. This is why I love to watch old movies without any 4K or HD treatment. Because they look better that way. They do. That's why I like to look at old cartoons that look grainy as fuck. You can barely see shit. Good. I want it that way. I miss that shit. Why? Because it's raw. It's real. You know? Seriously. That's just me, man. This is why there's movies nowadays that people are putting on VHS, like Dune, the remakes of Dune. People are putting that stuff on VHSs, and I think you can buy that, and it looks good, really good. I've seen clips of it. Dune, the remakes of Dune 1 and 2 on VHS. Ooh, they look good. They look good on a big giant TV, and so does the Terrifier movies. If you put them in a old CRTV and shit like that, they look good, really good, because those movies are meant to be watched that way. They are. They're meant to be watched that way, just like the original Halloween franchise. You know, it's just really baffling to me because you want to do this, right? Okay, fine. Then what's the art style going to be? You see, then forget it. Forget it. You lost me right there. And that's sad because the art style for Nightmare on Elm Street is gorgeous. From the beginning to end, it's gorgeous. It is. I love the art style through this whole series, to be quite honest with you. Even Freddy vs. Jason has a nice art style. It does. It just has a good art style overall. That's just me. What's the best art style? Some people say Nightmare 2. And you know what? Nightmare 2 does have a really good art style. I still think, in my opinion, I think it's Nightmare 4. To me, Nightmare 4 has a really, really good art style. Seriously, that's just me. I mean, that's just me. How can you hate Alice in that movie? Alice is fucking fine. All right, she's just hot as hell. Seriously, in that line, "Welcome to Wonderland, Alice." Oh, that's so good. You really think Jim Carrey could pull that off? Oh man, maybe he could. I'm not saying he can't. He's a great actor. He is. It's just that if they make him as Freddy and they tell him, hey, just do your regular stick that you see that you do in Sonic, then guess what? It's gonna fail. It's gonna fail. You talk about Freddy's dead, Freddy being a Looney Tunes character. Oh no, Jim Carrey would do that. He would literally make Freddy a Looney Tunes character, which again, I actually don't mind that. It's just that how far are you gonna go with it? Is it gonna be really, really Looney Tunesy, or is it gonna be dark Looney Tunes, fucked up Looney Tunes? You know, like 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 almost like that movie Days Gone. I think that was it's gone. I think that's what it's called. It's a movie where these a whole bunch of kids go to this haunted house and they play in this game. Well, they're not really playing a game. Some clock moves and they start dying off for from like other stuff that's coming after them, or they drink water and they start exploding and shit like that. That right there, all of that right there could be interesting. Imagine a movie like that. A whole bunch of kids go inside a haunted house, but it's actually Freddy's house, or the house is Freddy Krueger in themselves, and they actually realize they're actually dreaming and they don't know it. You know how crazy that would be? That would be crazy. That'd be a good twist, in my opinion. I wouldn't mind that. You could do so much. You could grab so many ideas that from horror movies that are around and put them together and make it unique and good and fun. All you have to do is have a good idea, and stay with that idea and not fumble with it. You know, that's just me. It's something with the Halloween video game too. All you have to do is have a good direction and not fuck it up, basically. So tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think. I didn't know I was gonna say a lot of stuff like this, but excuse me, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm up and down with it, obviously, but it's just I think a new person should just play as Freddy, man, instead of a different person, like someone younger. All right, again, like David Howard. It's just that. That's all. That's all. And if it's not going to be David Howard to do it, that's fine. It could be someone else. But again, who would it be? It would have to be a new rising star in the horror genre to do it. And sometimes it doesn't have to be in the horror genre. Hey, maybe the actor that is going to play as Freddy doesn't exist in Hollywood yet. Have you thought of that? And that's going to be very hard because if Jim Carrey doesn't want to do it, then the movie's never going to be made. And remember, this is all rumors right now. This is all speculation. But if I was Jim Carrey and I'm hearing this and no one didn't give me the memo and I'm hearing this online, I would have been like, what the fuck? Don't put my name in your mouth. Keep your fucking name out my out your fucking mouth. If you know that shit, yo, you deserve a fucking cookie. That'd be hilarious though. I'll pay to see that actually. Yeah. But again, uh, I'm sorry guys, but anything else I could think about? Anything else I could think about? Damn man, it's because if I shut off the video and I think about something, I'm gonna be very upset. I'll be like, fuck, now I'm gonna have to make a part two. Like, let me grab a piece of paper and write it down. You know. So, and the thing is too, I've thought about this a long, long, long time ago. You know how in the scene of Freddy in Nightmare on Elm Street 1, when Tina is fighting with Freddy and she pulls his face off and you have that skeletal face? That could be Freddy. Again, you can get a new actor, and a lot of people might complain, oh, he doesn't have that Freddy look. Just give him a skull Freddy look. And I know a lot of people might be upset about that, but he's a blunt victim at the end of the day. You know? He can still do that goofiness and all that stuff, obviously. as Freddy does. But if if people are going to be such distracted that it's not Freddy, I mean Robert Englund that's playing as Freddy, then just put either two things. Either use the latex of Robert Englund, which if you've seen fan movies, it looks good when fans use it properly, and it looks really good. You know it's not Robert Englund, but the mask is so good to the point that it's like you don't even fucking care, you know? Um, if not, just use the skull face Freddy. I know a lot of people might be upset at me saying that, but I remember drawing Freddy Krueger like that once, and I was just like, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to see in a movie one day. If you know if Robert didn't want to do it anymore and someone else did. And then not that long ago, didn't it not that long ago, Robert Englund said that anybody could be Freddy Krueger. You know, it doesn't matter if you're skinny, fat, gay, and all that shit. So I thought about this. You have these teenage kids have a dream about Freddy, right? But every time they see Freddy, it's a different character. It's a different person. It could be like Freddy's victims that he's killed over the years. And it could be different people playing as Freddy. Now you could literally have Jim Carrey as a cameo as Freddy, or Kevin Bacon as a cameo for Freddy, or David Howard as a cameo for Freddy, basically. That'd be so dope, basically. And then by the end of the movie, Robert Englund shows up with that regular face, and the kids have to fight him once and for all, basically. You know, or the final girl does. That's just me. You know, again, you can always get a stunt double. There's always been stunt doubles for Freddy Krueger, anyways. So again, the possibilities are endless with a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. To be quite honest with you. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Tell me what you guys think about my ideas and how and my thoughts, my opinions about this whole thing. Because the idea that I just told you sounds way better than what we have here. Because at least with that, you could get Johnny Depp. Oh, that'd be something. But hey, that'd be a nice reference, right? Johnny Depp was in the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, so him coming in as like a little cup of coffee to wear the hat and the glove to go after kids and having Robert Englund's voice dub over it, that'd be fine. You know, he's just gonna be there for a cup of coffee. Same thing with all the other actors I mentioned. Hey, Freddy can even be like a woman, you know, in one scene, kind of like what he did in the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Remember? Nancy, no running in the hallway. You know, come on, that shit would be great. Hell, even the director could fucking do it. Be like, come on, let me put the fedora and glove and hat on to do some stuff. You know, it'd be fun. I think it would be really fun. And to be honest, I think it would be a nice celebration of not just Robert Englund, but the franchise and Freddy. You know, I think that would be splendid. I think that'd be great. I know a lot of people might think about this and be like, "Ooh, that sounds a lot better." And if you think it is a lot better, well, scream to the director at it. Please tell the director that is talking about this. Tell him that, hey, remember what Robert Englund said years ago that anyone could be Freddy. So take that aspect and put these different actors that play as Freddy that the main characters have to go through. And then the main Freddy comes, obviously, which, yes, you know how Freddy is. He always changes his look and shit like that. So when you finally see him, you see him in the finale with his house. You go in, and he's just waiting for you. And he's not wearing the burnt face because obviously Robert Englund doesn't want to do that anymore. But he could just still look like Robert Englund, just with the Freddy hat and the Freddy glove and the fedora. I mean the sweater. So it's not that hard, guys. It's really not that hard. And you could talk to Robert Englund about this. I bet Robert Englund would have been like, you know what? I probably can't set it up in the makeup anymore, but I can put the fedora and the glove and the sweater back on. And it's like exactly, you know. So that's just me. And I know some people might be like, I don't know. I get it. You want him to have that burnt face, but how about this? How about all the actors that make that cameo have that burnt face? And maybe some of them might not have it. Maybe some of them might have a little scratches on them, you know. And it can show. It could show slowly and surely that yes, in the beginning you see Freddy burnt like a motherfucker, right? Some actor is going to be just as like Freddy, all burnt up and shit. But then slowly progressing to the end of like, oh, he's not getting that burnt. He's not getting that. He's becoming like normal and shit like that because well, he's killing these kids, right? So that would make sense. That would make sense in the Freddy universe, right? Because in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, he's the character could be like he's Sqawn, and then he can say that line. He's again like, yes, it's because of the souls of the children, you know. And I've always thought about this too. Wouldn't he look younger and less bunt faced if he did swallow kids up? Basically, if he killed the kids, killed the teenager kids and shit. Is that just me? I don't know. I've always thought about that in the regular series too. But like you have this freaking Dream Eater demon that is bunt as hell, but yet he doesn't look more of what he used to look like when he's sucking souls out of people, or eating souls. That's just me. I mean, that's just a thought that I have in my head. You don't have to agree with it. That's fine. It's just a thought that I always had with the original series, you know? Because it will make sense. It would make sense. You're eating younger kids, so you will look younger and younger, and you won't have those burnt marks anymore and stuff like that. That would be something, They did kind of do that in Freddy's Dead, but they didn't really do it as much as they should have. It's almost like yes, they thought about it, but they didn't went all the way with it. So again, it's like a missed opportunity right there. If you watch all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, that's just me. But yeah, I think that's it. I know I've been here for long enough, guys. You're probably sick of my shit. So I'll be out, guys. I'll see you later. Be safe. And tell me what you guys think about everything that I said here. Seriously, I know I should have shut this video off like 3 or 5 times already because I kept saying bye, 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 but I keep fucking continuing on. But it is what it is. It is what it is because these ideas that I have on my head can make a really good proper Freddy. And again, Jim Carrey could still play as Freddy, just as a cameo, just like what I said before. So I'm not gonna repeat myself. So I'll see you guys later and be safe. And what do you think about the rumors of Jim Carrey that could be Freddy Krueger? Help us all.